In the July 3rd meeting of the Select Board, first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from our last meeting, June 19th. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve once I add the,
The list of appointees.
yes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Under old business, actually, Brian, do you want to come up first? You got the. Yeah, I'll put. Why don't you head up first then? I think you've got a couple of things that you want to talk about, and we also want to appoint Jonathan Santos as a new police officer. So you can take the floor.
Thanks. Before I get to the appointment, I just. We had a murder in town, as most people know at this point, back on Friday, June 29th. As far as we can tell, this is the first homicide that has been committed in Holland. Certainly during my tenure here, and most people say that they think it's the first one ever. I first wanted to just give condolences to the family of the victim. They're obviously going through a very trying time. I also wanted to just tell the community the process in which we go through when we're dealing with something like this. The call came in on Friday. I'm not going to give a lot of information, and what I'm going to tell you is probably it's already out there anyway in the media and has already been released in a statement. The investigation is fluid and is ongoing. When the call came in, Officer Ward and I were the first two on scene. We had a lot of other towns responding, including the state police. It was a very fluid situation. The call came out to us that there had been a murder that had just been committed at that address. The suspect was taken into custody. He was detained by by us when we arrived. Immediately he was on scene. There was also a restraining order involved against Mr. Kasberg, and that restraining order was violated by him being there, because one of the parameters of that restraining order was to stay away from that residence. Not going to get into too many details. Again, it is ongoing. In these types of situations, any type of a homicide, a murder, or any unattended death for that matter, by statute is handled by the state police, is their jurisdiction, even though the Holland police have jurisdiction in this town. When it comes to that type of situation, or murder or anything like that, the state police have jurisdiction by law. So the investigation is being conducted by the state police. That doesn't mean that they're telling the Holland police to step aside and you're out of here. We are involved in the investigation with them. We have been from the moment the call came in. In fact, I've spoken to the lead investigator, the Trooper Sullivan, probably 3 times today on the phone alone. So it's not a situation where we're just in the dark. Process in which information is released, I know that frustrates some people. I just want people to understand that there are a lot of factors that go into press releases. Obviously, this was a very intense situation in the beginning. There was a lot of law enforcement on scene. People were asking questions, what happened? There was media. Understand that the process, which isn't made by me, it's something that is recommended, is in place for a few reasons. One reason is obviously notification of the victim's family, notification of next of kin. You don't want them finding out via media. So that's a very sensitive subject where you can't be releasing a lot of information. The integrity of the investigation and the integrity of the crime scene. We don't want people coming to the crime scene. So the information wasn't released right away. That's actually the recommended process not to release that information right away. I know we have a code red system. That's not something that we would utilize that for unless there was a danger to the public. There was nothing in this situation that indicated that, or if we were seeking information from the public. Having said that, we are getting a lot of people who are calling the police station. That's fine. We have no problem with that, with information, maybe giving us their take on what they think happened, because they knew both the victim and the suspect. The state police are handling that. We are referring them to the Hampden County DA's office. Again, that is the state police. They're the lead investigators. They're also referred to, or they used to be referred to as CPAC. That's what a lot of people know them as. I don't believe they use that term anymore. But the Hampden County DA's office, the state police that are in the investigating have an office. That is their office in the Hampden County DA's office. That's their home base.
So is it like a separate homicide unit of the state police?
Yeah. So any referrals, any people that have information that they feel is pertinent, I encourage you to call that, the main number at the Hampden County DA's office. I don't have that with me, or you call us and we're going to refer you to them. I just wanted to, before I close here, just wanted to recognize the public safety officials that responded to this call. Again, the victim's family is really the most important thing here, but it has an effect on the public safety people who respond as well. We had a very good response to this call. We were able to, with our officers, the state police and Brimfield Police and the Wales Police who responded as well, were able to provide that safety to the community, and really did a really good job, and were really vital in securing that crime scene. So I wanted to thank those people, and again, the condolences to the family.
Yes.
So with that, we move on to a bit of a happier thing here. We have a new officer, Jonathan Santos, who is here with us tonight, who we are appointing, and I would like to arrange for his appointment as a police officer on a part-time basis. Jonathan actually came to us and was looking for a sponsor to the Reserve Academy. He had a desire to be a police officer, and sometimes when you start out, you have to make connections, and a police department has to sponsor you for that. That doesn't mean we have to hire the person. But Jonathan came to us. I had a conversation with him one day, and he was looking to go to the Reserve Police Academy, looking for a sponsor. We had a discussion. We did a background check, had an interview with him, and we sponsored him for the Reserve Academy. We've done that before with many people, and that doesn't mean we hire them. A lot of them go on to other jobs. A lot of them go on, have gone on and to other careers or other police careers or other departments. Jonathan impressed us actually so much with his demeanor, with his desire, and just the way he interviewed, that after he graduated the academy, we happened to have an opening, which we publicized, and we decided to hire Jonathan as well and give him an opportunity, because he did so well with the interview process. He did so well and impressed us so much. So I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Jonathan Santos to the police department and arrange for his appointment as a police officer on a part-time basis. Mr. Santos has recently completed the Reserve Intermittent Police Academy, as I said, and he is in compliance with Mass General Law, Chapter 41, Section 91B, as well as the provisions outlined within Mass General Laws 550 CMR 3.00. Interviews and background checks have been conducted with Mr. Santos, and he comes highly recommended. Mr. Santos will be assigned to the Lake Patrol Unit as his primary function, and his appointment will be contingent on successfully completing the appropriate field training program as outlined in department policy, as well as a one-year probationary period. So I would like to, you guys have to do what you have to do, and I would like to have him come up and introduce himself.
All right, well, do I have a motion to approve Jonathan Santos' appointment to the police department?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Jonathan, why don't you come up and introduce yourself?
Thank you, sir. Good evening. My name is Jonathan Santos. I'm 28 years old. I have a passion for law enforcement since I was in a junior ROTC in high school, where I furthered my skills in the Army as a military policeman. I then transitioned my skills that I gained from both as with professional and mannerism, and I transitioned that over to the civilian world, where I built a set of skills and knowledge in the computer world, where I currently worked for the last 6 years. As the chief said, I recently graduated from the Reserve Police Academy. I currently reside in the town of Sturbridge, where I own a home with my wife and 2 daughters. Being a neighboring town of Holland, bring me pride and honor to serve in a small town, as where I live in a small town. I have a passion for that.
You and I have had a chance to talk briefly.
Yes, sir.
I think you're going to be a great addition to the police department, so I look forward
sir.
to working with you over the next period of time.
Yes, sir. I appreciate
Now,
it.
are they going to throw you out tomorrow in the middle of the fireworks? You got to give them at least a chance to get used to the lake before you put them into the battle.
Yeah, he will be going through a little bit of training first,
Okay.
yes. I'm not just gonna throw him out there. Well, maybe.
Well, welcome aboard.
Welcome
Thank you.
aboard.
Appreciate it. Thank you,
Thank
Jim. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Next item on the agenda, the Green Community Grant update. Ernie and I had a chance to walk through the lighting updates with Jim Barry on, what was it, Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
What was the guy's name? I'm sorry.
Jim Barry.
Barry.
B-A-R-R?
BA.
B-A-R-R-Y.
Yeah. So Ernie, why don't you give the update?
We walked through the facilities. We started at the school and went from the school to the fire department, to the police, the DPW, and then on to the community center. He looked at all the lighting and was satisfied that the contract had been executed as it was written. And we do have his final report in. So it looks like we need to get one from the electrical inspection at the schoolhouse, waiting for that report to come in. And after some amount of time in 2019, we should be receiving the money from the grant.
Fiscal 2009.
Fiscal 2000.
Because everybody's going to be thinking, why are we waiting until next year?
Although he-
But are these were all done?
No,
These
not,
aren't
not,
gonna
not
be
here.
here.
How
We-
come?
Something about not quite
Oh,
right.
okay.
Area to,
But-
to be upgraded, right equipment to be upgraded.
But the school was done, most of the town barn was done, library was done.
Cool. So now, that's our second Green Community Grant, right? Because the first one was for a heating system in the
Yep.
school.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Ernie.
You're welcome.
Let's see, land grant application, I'll kill 2 birds with one stone on this. I've got to sign a couple of things to move forward with the land grant on the Sickles property. But I also would like to entertain a motion to appoint Jennifer Ohop as the project manager for the grant application process. She's been doing all of the work anyways, and she had requested that we appoint her as project manager, and obviously it makes sense that we do that. So do I have a motion to appoint Jen Ohop, project manager for the land grant application?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And then I've got to sign a couple of things regarding the same application. So
So she's going to be the project manager for the grant application.
Right.
Okay. That was all done.
Well, I mean, it's an ongoing process, I think.
Aren't you supposed to sign down here?
It's chief executive.
Oh, that's conservation, never mind.
Okay, that's done. And I told Jennifer I would put this in the select board mailbox, and she can come by and pick it up. I think she's gonna come by and pick it up tomorrow.
Okay.
Where did my agenda go? Okay. Next item. Oh, yeah, might as well. I will entertain a motion now to appoint Val Lundgren to the Cemetery Commission.
So
Make a
moved.
motion to appoint her?
Do I have a second? Yeah, to appoint.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was making the motion.
Okay.
Oh, second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. You got it. All right. All right.
Congratulations.
Next, under new business, Rick, and maybe you can add some clarification to this. The fire chief has requested that we approve the appointment of certain people to the fire department, but I was a little confused because the length of time for some people are different than for others. Some of the appointments, including yours, tie to when the the fire chief's contract expires, and it looks like the volunteers.
Wait a minute, the fire chief doesn't have a contract, just so you know.
Oh, yeah, when the fire chief's relationship
Yeah.
is terminated, or contract, depending on what we end up doing. And then the volunteers, it looks like they're through June 30th, 2019. So I'm just wondering, I don't understand why some appointments are different than others.
Can I look at this?
Yeah, yeah. Do you,
The last I knew, we're all on a yearly,
all right.
in the same year is what was my understanding, what the chief was trying to establish, that everybody would be reappointed July 1st of each.
That's what I thought. I'll
Well,
just,
because he's got in here like John Cousins, deputy chief to expire when the chief's next appointment expires. Rebecca, deputy chief to expire when the chief's next captain to when the chief's. Lieutenant Paul to expire when the chief's.
I mean, obviously-
Yours is to expire 2/19/2019.
Okay.
I mean, obviously my concern is that, and I'm not making a judgment one way or the other, but to have so many people's contracts, appointments tie into the
His.
chief's relationship could be problematic, to have suddenly a whole group of people in the fire department suddenly their appointment expires depending on what happens with the chief. But I guess I'll have a conversation with the chief and I'll report back at the next meeting.
Well, I'd like to make a motion so that we don't not have a fire department.
Well,
If we could appoint everybody right now.
I don't think we can, Bettina. He's a strong chief.
No,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say no, he's not a strong chief right now. For a month until you've talked to him, just so that we have them covered.
So what's your motion?
A motion to appoint everybody for the next month until you've talked to the chief, so that we're not without a fire department.
That's fair.
Second.
Second? Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
That was just,
all right.
so
And I'll straighten it out and make sure that, there could be a legitimate reason, and but I just don't understand it. Okay, all right. What's next? All boards meeting. I want to set up an all boards meeting, and I'm just wondering if anyone has any idea. I mean, we're
All right.
supposed to do it every quarter.
Just my opinion, I'm actually looking up a calendar, so just bear with me. If I can't figure it out. Maybe I'm not gonna look up a calendar. I was thinking we should wait till September.
Why?
Because we're in the middle of summer, and a lot of our boards are only meeting once a month.
Ernie, what do you think? I don't really. I mean, it's. I'd prefer to do it, stick to what we had originally established as a schedule, which is the first of every quarter. And whoever shows up, and whoever doesn't show up, I'd like to see if we can get it to work on a quarterly basis. That's my personal feeling.
So you're looking for second quarter meeting or a
I'm
third
looking
quarter
for,
meeting?
I'm looking for something in July. That's what I'm looking for. Like the middle of July, I'd like to propose, say, a Wednesday. That seems like, is there anything going on Wednesdays?
ZBA has their meetings on Wednesday.
All right, so the Thursdays is an open day. So I'd like to propose that we set up an all boards meeting for July 19th. It's 6 o'clock, no, 7 o'clock, because just to make sure everyone can get here. So, as a chair, I don't think I can make a motion, so could.
Motion, we have an all boards meeting, July 19th, 2018, at 7 p.m.
Bettina?
I'll second it.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
We're
Next,
doing double duty.
you just want to, never mind. Thank you. Next item on
You
the.
can do it.
No, believe me, I can't. Next item on the agenda, I've been walking by the boat ramp on the North Basin, and there's trash all over the place. And there used to be a trash bucket, and I'm not sure who took care of it, but there's no receptacle right now for trash. I mean, I walk by there every day, there's the same box of Marlboro cigarettes, an empty cigarette box that has been sitting in the same place for about 2 weeks, and I don't know how an empty box can stick around for that long without even getting blown by the wind. But I guess my thought is that maybe out of our lake maintenance budget, we could get LaBouffe to drop off one of those receptacles.
You'll have, the town will be dumping whatever they don't want in it.
You get a point there.
Why can't
But-
the
but-
DPW put a container out and pick it up once a week or once?
Well, I don't know.
But
does
isn't
it-
that, I thought that was taken care of by the Army Corps of Engineers.
I think the
Or is it just
routine
that-
maintenance is the responsibility of the town.
Okay.
And there was, like I said, a receptacle there every year, except for, I don't see one there this year, and it's only gonna get worse. You
So
know,
maybe we should talk to Brian and see if we can do something.
I'll check with Brian. I'll call him. At least find out what has been done in the past.
Past,
Like
yeah.
I said, all I know is that there was a trash container. I don't know who was responsible for it. Okay. All right. Ernie, you asked me to put the MCPPO tuition reimbursement. Can you explain what this is?
I will be attending a couple of courses at the Massachusetts Certified Public Purchasing Official Program. The first class is about invitations for bids and requests for proposal. It's a workshop, it's a one-day workshop, and the cost is $200. And the second one is just a general meeting for new officers, and that one is free. I'd like to request reimbursement of $200 for participating in the class.
Do I have a motion?
You have a motion?
Second. Okay, you can second
Second.
your motion. I don't have any problem with it. Do we need to sign this at all?
No.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
That's it under announcements. Warrants signed, Bettina.
Payroll was $4,005.36, and accounts payable was $213.52. Yeah, $213,052.01.
Okay. The following is seeking members. Boards and committees are seeking members. Zoning Board of Appeals, 1 alternate member. OPEB, 2 members. Bylaw Committee, 1 member. Capital Planning Committee, 1 member not affiliated with any other board or committee. Cable Committee, 1 or 3 members. I guess it must mean
Well, 'cause
one.
they have to have an odd number.
Okay, all right. Yep. And that's it. On the agenda, I'll open it to public access now.
Rick Lundeen, Shore Drive, and the fire department. I don't know if you're aware, it's, the last couple of days with the excessive heat, the fire alarm in the attic has been going off, and we've had to respond. Just a suggestion that maybe going forward, you could look into putting a thermostatic controlled fan, exhaust fan up there to help alleviate the heat that builds up there. That would at least silence the alarm because of the heat that builds up.
So, you mean,
In here.
just,
Yeah, they make an exhaust fan put on the end of a louver, and it's controlled by a thermostat.
And it
You
pulls
go up there
everything out.
now, and it's murder. You
Okay.
think outside's bad, it's probably twice as hot up there, and that's what, today was the second time that alarm went off that's up there,
What building is it in?
Here,
right here at the town hall. So we've left the door that goes up into the attic, we've left it open, that hopefully that, you know, with the air conditioner, I don't know if it runs or not, but that air would circulate up there and help relieve some of the heat that's up there. But, and I know it's a unusual heat wave that we're having too, but
right.
I think going forward, the town ought at least looking at some type of a fan up there.
let's see.
What was the idea of placing it in the attic?
Well, that's where the heat goes. If you look at most homes,
Oh,
today,
it's the alarm. I thought it
it's
was
the
general
alarm
alarm.
that's
No,
because of
no.
the heat that's setting the alarm off.
All right.
So if we vent some of the heat out of there, then that should stop the heat going, I mean, the alarm going off, you know,
Would make
prematurely.
sense.
Yeah, that's,
Thank you.
because I'm getting
Thank you.
those calls too, as emergency management director, so, yeah.
Okay.
Val Lundeen, Shore Drive. I just would like to say, Bettina, that was a good catch about waiting to appoint the firemen and the fire department for another month because of the alarm. If it went off again this week or next week, you'd have no one here to respond.
Thank you.
Thanks. You, Bettina, or any?
Nope.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.